Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Brenna if you don't know me. I have just a few books that we're gonna talk about today. Today, we're gonna talk about what each book is. I'm gonna give you what I thought on it, but I'm also gonna describe the plot. Whereas you guys could go look up what the book is, but I can just give it to you. This is also spoiler free. Let's just get started. What we're gonna start with is the latest book I read. The Do-Over. Now this is a book about a time loop, which honestly is, I don't know. It was okay. If you need to get back into a book or back into reading, this is the book for you. Basically, this girl has a really, really bad Valentine's Day. Then it keeps repeating. I really like her. If you can't tell, this is better than the movies, which we'll talk about next. And then this is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. These two books, there's something at the top of her chapters. So this one, we had some confessions. My favorite thing about Lynn Painter is that she always finds a way to make it a very lighthearted book, but there's always a smidge of something. This one was something about her dad and her dad was moving. This one, there is something about her dad. So there's always just an issue. Lynn Painter knows how to navigate it. I would read The Do-Over if you need to get back into a book. Next is Better Than the Movies. Guys, this such a good book. 4 out of 5 stars. Everybody loves this book. This is basically about a girl and a guy, and they live right next to each other, and they're kind of enemies but friends at the same time. Wes is helping her. Wes is the boy and Liz is the girl, and Wes is helping her get this other boy, and
I wonder what's gonna happen.
Another favorite thing about Lynn Painter is that at the end of the books there are... Where the freak is the playlist for this one? Alexa, is there a playlist in Better Than the Movies? Alexa, stop. There is. I found it right after I asked her. So this is the soundtrack of Wes and Liz. Someone like you, paper rings, lovers, ocean eyes, bad lighter, public service announcement, up all night, how would you feel? How about paradise, avatar, feeling like someone like you, monkey wrench, element, voice come, electric kiss, enter Sandman, death of the dignity, very young, news day, river, interlace. You have to read this one. This one, whatever. You have to read this one. This one is, I didn't like as much as those, and I think it's because I read it during school. This one is basically about a girl and a guy. I don't know, I didn't like it. It didn't make sense a lot of the time. It's called Betting on You, and apparently it's all about this big bet, but it's not really. It's just not great. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Lynn Painter, I love you, the woman that you are. It's not worth the read. I don't know what I rated it. Next. Another monumental book that is on TikTok. We have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is being turned into a series now. It's just a little murder mystery. I loved it. I suggest reading this. This is a read. Let's backtrack. This one's a read if you want. This one's a must read. This one is, you don't really have to read it. This one is a must read. The Unhoneymooners. Something about this book. I don't really remember it. I liked it. Look at that. There's even text messages, and I always like books with text messages. Where are they? They're there. I would explain it to you, but it's very confusing. Alright, let's speed explain it. A girl has a twin sister. A boy has a brother, okay? The girl's twin sister and the boy's brother, they're getting married. They're at the wedding reception, or not reception, they're at the wedding, and everybody gets sick except for the sister of the girl that's not getting married and the brother that is not getting married. Those two don't eat because they're picky eaters or they're allergic, okay? I don't remember. Basically, they're the only two that are not sick, and this is a non-refundable vacation, honeymoon. So they're like, what do we do? They go on it. What do you think happens? You gotta find out in this book. This is a read if you want. It's good when you're reading it. It's kind of long. I don't know. It's not long. Next one, The Cheat Sheet. This is a book that if you need to get back into reading or you're in a reading slump, I would read this. It's a cute little sports romance. The dude is a player and the girl is a dance teacher, and they've been best friends since they were younger. But the only thing is, it's a little frustrating because it is a young adult read, and it's that thing where it's oh well, I don't think he likes me. Be So For Real. Be so for real. It's a cute little book. It's not anything like crazy. This one I can't talk to you too much about, but it's called Conventionally Yours. I don't remember it that much. I read this in 8th grade, by the way, and I'm gonna be a senior. These two guys, they're going on a road trip because they both play, I think it was D&D. The whole team, I'm pretty sure, was supposed to go, but then it just ended up being 2. This has the whole like one bed situation. It's a little LGBTQ little romance, so if you want to read it, I suggest it. The Way I Used to Be. My mom didn't like this one, so then it influenced me, and I was like, oh, maybe I don't like it. But that's false, because I do like this book. This is about a girl who gets sexually assaulted, and it's not about the sexual assault and like what happened. It's more about the long-term effects. So we see her in her freshman year, her sophomore year, her junior year, and her senior year. I think it's a good book because it's a little confusing because it's just like she's going about her life in a very interesting way. So I feel like this isn't like a must read, but I would recommend it. It's more deep, but not like deep. Speaking of deep, now I read this one before I read Girl in Pieces, and let's just skip to Girl in Pieces for a second. I DNF'd that book. So this is a me thing. I don't want anybody all up in the comments being like,
Oh, you just don't understand. Like, you just don't understand that.
you don't know my life. You don't know if I understand it or if I don't. I just want to create like more of a safe space that like nobody can be mad that I don't like the book, okay? In this book, I didn't like it either. And honestly, it's not like oh, this book sucks. It's more like I don't like the writing, and I just feel like there's so many like unnecessary plot points where it's just like, what is the point of the story again? So basically this girl is in a car with her brother and this other girl after a party, and they get into a car crash, and the brother is like out of his mind on drugs, okay? And the girl in the backseat, who was not the sister, she died, okay? And the other girl, she like broke her leg or something. And unfortunately, the whole book I felt like was about her and her broken leg, not about how her brother's literally in rehab. And the brother comes home from rehab eventually, and it's just like how she navigates life like that. Read this book if you're into things like this, but I don't like it. Honest truth, guys. This is where it ends. This is a young adult book, but it's basically a school shooting in the span of 54 minutes. It's told from different people's perspectives. You kind of find out through the book like what is going on. I don't know. I don't really remember it because I read this many years ago. I would recommend this. I like books like these. People need to take school shootings more seriously, in my opinion. This is a monumental book that if you haven't read it at this point in your life, you've probably seen the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, then you need to read this book. And this book is The Fault in Our Stars. This book is about a girl with cancer who meets a boy who had cancer. It's just kind of their story, and you guys, the girl's outlook is like not super positive, and the boy has like, I think he has a positive attitude. I don't know. But you have to read this and then you have to watch the movie. But this first. And my last book, which I'm kind of sad that it's my last book because it's a little embarrassing. If He Had Been With Me. This book, this is very popular on TikTok. I liked this book. It's not worth the hype, but I'm also very easily influenced. So unfortunately, like, I don't know. You can't fully trust me. To me, it's like this book a little bit, whereas there's just so much storytelling and not enough of like what we're there for. Like, bro, I don't care that you went to school wearing a tiara on your head every day and what you did in that day. I want to know about you and this boy. If you want to join in on the TikTok hype, go ahead. It's not amazing. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys take my little book recommendations or not recommendations into account when you're reading a book, and let me know if you guys want some like book reading vlogs, because I can surely do that with my thoughts on what is going on. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. I thought that would be like a cool transition. Whoop.